Today, I'm going to be replacing a broken cartridge reader on a Game Boy Advance SP. Alright, first things first is to take out the motherboard, but before that, I want to go ahead and test it out to show that it's not going to work. And it won't work. Doesn't matter how many times you blow in it, it's just in the cartridge or the cartridge reader itself. It's just not going to work at all. The color fell out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can tell right here how it is put together, but it's completely broken in the inside. Even has missing pins. So I'll go ahead and take it apart and we can take a better look at it. Alright, as y'all can see right there, you can definitely tell how it's all broken. Missing pins. It's just really bad. So the cartridge reader has to be replaced. I have an extra one right here from an extra donor board. And of course, there's actually aftermarket cartridge readers that work pretty decently well. I will post those in the description. So the first thing is to desolder these in. That's how I like to go about this. And once I get those desoldered, then I'll remove these with hot air. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to be using my syringe flux because for the following steps, I'm going to be needing quite a bit more. Now what you want to do on this part is while putting your soldering iron against it, start pulling up so it can release from the pad. Alright, now that one side is released, do the same thing to the other. Alright, now that these ends are removed, it's just time to add some flux to these pins on the other side. And after that, use my hot air station. Here's my soldering station. I like to set it up somewhere between 5 and 7 and to 420 degrees. I usually do 380, but for this you'll need a little bit more heat. And for this next step, I like to use some big tweezer tongs to hold the cartridge reader while taking it off so I won't burn myself. Alright, what I do next is take big tip soldering iron and remove any excess solder, just so it's nice and flush when putting on the new cartridge reader. Alright, now give it a quick clean with some IPA. Go ahead and take a look at the cartridge reader now that I can touch it. You do not want to grab this while it's hot. It will burn you for sure. But yeah, as y'all can see, you can just focus. That was really bad. So it was never going to work. But here's the good working one, so that's the one I want to put on. Alright, so what I like to do so it will be more flush is to take my soldering iron and just run across these pins just so to free itself from any extra solder. Or any of the pins that have solder like sticking up, that will prevent it from sitting flush. Alright, so now it's just time to add more flux. Alright, so now you'll find two small bumps on the cartridge reader. You'll want to line up with the holes on the PCB. Once it's lined up and into place, I like to solder these pads first, just so I can make sure it's nice, flush, and seated before I solder the other pins on the other side. Alright, for this next step, I'll have to replace the tip to a smaller one. Alright, the way I start is from the edges, then the middle, and then the rest of the pins after that. Alright, now that all the pins are soldered on, it's time to give it a final clean with some IPA. Now I'll give it a couple of hits with the duster. put it back together after that. Alright, right before I put it back together, I want to show y'all guys nice and clean pins. And it's not broken, so it should definitely work after this. Alright, so now that it's put back together, it's time to give it a test run with a few games. I'll start it with Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. Yes. So it looks like it's just playing fine. Alright. I'll get a few tests with a few other games and see how it does. Let's try an original Game Boy game. Alright, so yeah, it seems like it's working fine now. So that does it for today's video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out my other video where I fix a water damage SP. Thank you all for watching.